Welcome to all dear students online learning session. Today we are going to understand standard 6 NCERT Science Biology chapter, that is chapter number 7, Getting to Know Plants. In this chapter we are going to understand about plants, and these are the topics which we are going to cover in this chapter. 7.1 herbs, 7.2 stem, 7.3 leaf, 7.4 root, 7.5 flowers. So in this chapter we are going to understand about the plants. So let's get started with this chapter. Go outside and observe all the plants around you. You can look in the figure also. Do you see that some plants are small, some big, while some are just patches of green on the soil. Some have green leaves while some other have reddish ones. Some have huge red flowers, some have tiny blue ones, while some have none. We do see a variety of plants existing all around us, near our homes, in our school ground, on the way, in the school, in the parks and the garden, isn't it? So we see various types of beautiful flowers around us. So let us get to know the different parts of any plant. This will help us to understand the differences between the plants of different kinds. Can you label the stem, branch, root, leaf and fruit of the plant which is shown in figure? You can just see in the picture. Now let's start 7.1 herbs, shrubs and tree. For this you have to perform an activity. Look closely at the stem and the branches of. Now the very first, plants much smaller than you. Next, plants that are about your size, and plants which are much taller than you. So for their stem and try to bend down gently so that if they are tender or hard. Take care that stem does not break. Hug the tall plants to see how thick their stems are. So this activity 1, you understand that the plants which are smaller than you are herbs. The plants that are about your size are shrubs, and the plants which are much taller than you are trees. So here table 7.1 are the categories of plants. We also need to notice from where the branches grow in some plants, close to the ground or higher up on the stem. We will now group all the plants in the observed in table 7.1. Some examples are shown. You can fill the column. So the very first we are having a short. Okay, the column 2 we are having a tomato. So yes, they are green and tender. Column 3 they are higher on the stem, and column 4 that is a herb. Mango tree, if we are talking about a mango tree, the tree is but obviously is about our height. So very tall, its stem is thick, hard, higher up on the stem, and category of plant is tree. Lemon, it's about our height, isn't it? It is a hard at the base stem. Okay, branches appeared from the lemons are from the base stems, and column 4 that is a shrub. If we talk about a neem tree, so it's a very tall, thick and hard, and column 4 branches appeared higher on the stem, and it is a tree. So accordingly you can fill the table by observing different plants which is around you. Now here a suggestion is given. Students can work in a group of 4 to 5 so that the minimum number of plants are harmed or damaged, or even you can take help from your parents to recognize it, to guide you, isn't it? So you may also use weeds with soft stems for the activities. Then do you know what are the weeds? In crop fields, lawns or in pots, often some unwanted plants or weeds are start growing. Have you seen farmer removing weeds from the fields? Okay, unnecessary plants which is grow around the main crop are known as weeds. So farmer remove the weeds, which you will understand about the weeds in higher classes. Now based on these characters, most plants can be classified into 3 categories: herb, shrubs and trees. So we can see that tomato, according to 7 point table 1, tomato is a herb, mango is a tree, lemon is a shrub. Okay, so we can say that tomato is a herb. The herb is about smaller in our size. Mango, it is a tree, it is much taller than us, and lemon, it is approximately around our size. So that is a shrub. So you can see from the pictures also So n examples are which are given over here: herb, shrubs and tree. Now plants with the green and tender stems are called herbs. They are usually short and may not have any branches. Okay, the herbs does not have branches and they are very green and soft and tender. Some plants develop branches near the base of the stem. Stem के बाजू में से ही उसकी branch appear हो जाती है. The stem is hard but not very thick. Such plants are called shrubs. Okay, and some plants which are very tall have hard and thick stem. The stems have branches in the upper part, much above the ground. Such plants are called tree. We had understand about the mango tree, neem tree, that are the tree. We had understand about the herbs, that is a tomato. We had understand about the shrub, that is a lemon. So that there grows from the base stems. Okay, the tomatoes branches are green and soft, tenders. So based on the above characteristics, can you now classify the plants listed by you? So herb, shrubs and tree according to column table 1. Now Pehli wonders what kind of stem the money plant, beanstalk, god plants and the grapevine have. Do observe some of these plants have this difference from herb, a shrub or a tree. Why do you think some of them need support to climb upwards? You might have noticed some of the plants like bottle gourds, okay, ribbed gourd, bitter gourd have need support. Even a money wealth need support to grow. Why they need support? So we can say that the plants with the weak stem that cannot stand upright, spread on the ground, are called creepers. Okay, the plants which cannot stand up by their own, okay, they grow around the ground level. So they are called creepers, or even we can say runners. While those are that take support and climb up are called climbers. The plants which need support, okay, they take supports of the different objects or things or even from the walls. So they, according to that support, they climb up. So they are known as climbers. So these are the different forms of herbs, shrubs and trees, and creepers and climbers. Creepers are also runners, we can say, which is grow around the ground, which cannot grow by the supports. If we can say that watermelon, muskmelon, isn't it? And the climbers are, we can say, money well, ribbed gourd, bitter gourd. Okay, so these are the creepers which need a support to climb. Now perhaps there are some plants in your school or at your home that you take care. Write down the names of the any two green shrubs, herbs or creepers which is around a school or a ground, might you have noticed. So this is about the shrubs, herbs, trees, creepers and climbers. So let's start with the 7.2 stem. So this 7.2 is about stem. Now let's understand about the stem. Now observe closely to the stem of the different plants around you. Now you understand now what is the stem. The upper part of the plant which is shown on the land, the first part which is shown on the land surface from the land, okay, are a stem. Okay, the roots are in the down, but the stems are the first part which is seen from the land. So observe closely the stems of the different plants around you. Note down the different structures, parts borne by the stem. Compare your observation with that of your friends and what you will find. You can just explore your observation of the different stems. Over here, let us understand one activity, that is activity 2. This activity is about to understand that stem conducts water. How stem conducts water? Look at the picture also. Observe the setup. Does the color appear in the stem? Now what you have to do? We would require a glass of water or blue or red ink and soft stem. Now pour water to fill 1/3 of a glass and add blue or red ink into a water glass filled with water and cut a base of the stem, tender base stem, and put it in the glass and wait for some time. Observe the setup. Does the color appear in the stem? You will find the color rises in the stem. If this is kept for a longer period, the color appears in the veins of the leaves also. Okay, so how do you think that the color reached there? From this activity we see that the stem helps in upward movement of water. Okay, stem होता है वो पानी नीचे से लेके up करता है, upward movements of the water in the plant. So the water and the minerals go to the leaves and other parts of the plants which are attached to the stem. Stem से जो parts attach होंगे ना उसको ये waters और minerals मिलेगा. You can look in the picture also. So we can say that there is a basic functions of the stem which we say which gives a support to the plant. ओके वो प्लांट को सपोर्ट करता है, इरेक्ट करता है. नेक्स्ट ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ वाटर एंड मिनरल्स फॉर द रूट्स ऑफ द एंटायर प्लांट्स. ओके वो प्लांट्स को वाटर एंड मिनरल्स को पूरा करता है, वो वहाँ पे उसको पहुँचाता है, सो दैट द पार्ट्स विच आर अरेंज्ड टू द स्टेम्स गेट इजीली वाटर एंड minerals. In this way they fulfill the nutrition for the body of that plant. Now let's understand 7.3 leaf. Now this leaf you might see in everywhere, isn't it? The trees, the leaves, the different varieties of different types of different patterns of leaves. Now observe the leaves of the some plants around you and draw them in your book. Are all the leaves of same size, shape and in color? No, however, the leaves are attached to the stem. The part of the leaf by which it is attached is called a petiole. Now over here you can see in the figure, petiole, the part of a leaf which is attached to the stem. This is a stem which is attached to it, that is known as a petiole. And the broad green part of a leaf is called lamina. The broad green part of a leaf is called a lamina. And this is, you can identify these parts of the leaves in the plants around you. Now do all leaves have petioles? Now let us know the leaf better by taking its impression. If you thought that the leaves cannot sign here in activity, will make you think again. So let's perform a wonderful activity. You can look in the picture also over here on the board. Now for what this you have to do, put a leaf under a white sheet of a paper or a sheet in your notebook. Hold it in a place as shown in the figure. Hold your pencil tip sideways and rub it on the portion of the leaf paper having and below it. Now did you get an impression with some of the lines in it? Are they similar to those ones of the leaf? Yes. So these lines on the leaves are called veins. Do you see a prominent lines in the middle of the leaf is called the midrib, and the design made by the veins in the leaf is called leaf venation. Now if the design is net like on the both sides of the leaves, you can say that reticulate, and in the leaves of grass you might have seen that the veins are in parallel to one another, that are known as parallel venations. Now you can observe the different types of venations in the leaves by drawing the pattern about it. So this is about the activity 3, and activity 4 is about you need herb and true transparent polythene bags and thread, which shows that. Now what this shows that, now you can see that the transparent polythene bag, which you need to cover it in the leaf particularly. Okay, after few hours observe the inner surface of the covers. Now what do you see? There are many small water droplets are there on the sea. Now how do you got there? Okay, don't forget to remove the polythene bags, but you can see that there is a water droplets which comes when we wrap the polythene bag. Okay, because water comes out of the leaves in the form of vapor by the process of transpiration. Okay, so this process of transpiration is which plants release a lot amount of water into there through this process, and this keeps the environment or surroundings cool. We will learn this about more in chapter number 14. So why do you tie a cover around the leaves? We have seen that the water evaporates if not tied polythene cover. What makes the water appears in the polythene bag? So leaves also have another functions to perform. So we understand the basic function of the leaf, that leaf performs transpiration. Okay, we had also understand the structure of a leaf. We had also understand the venation. There are two venations of leaves present in a leaves. Reticulate venation, net design like structure on the both the sides of the leaves, and parallel venation. The leaves of the venations goes midribs goes parallel, so that are known as parallel venations. So these are the veins and midribs of the leaves, and there are two types of leaf venation, reticulate venation and parallel venation. We also understand the function of leaf, that is a transpiration. In this process the plant releases a lot of water in the air and makes the surrounding cool. So this is about this. And activity 5 is also shows that plants performs a photosynthesis process. Now what is a photosynthesis process, how it is understand, let's understand over here. We would require a leaf, a spirit, a beaker, a test tube, burner, water, a watch glass and iodine solution. Take a leaf in the test tube and pour a spirit to completely immerse the leaf. You can see the setup in the pictures. So now place the test tube in the beaker half filled with water and heat the beaker till the green color of the leaf comes out or it's washed out in the spirit and test tube. And take out the leaf carefully and wash it in the water and place it in a watch glass and pour some iodine drops of the solution. Compare your observation with the done on chapter 2 which we had already understand in the iodine test. Okay, so we can see that leaves prepare their food in the presence of sunlight and a green colored substance present in them. Now what is that green colored substance? A green colored substance is a chlorophyll, that is a green pigment. Okay, in the presence of sunlight, plants synthesize food in the form of, and two products are starch and oxygen is released. Plants takes atmospheric carbon dioxide, okay, and sunlight absorbed by the chlorophyll, green pigments and starch, that is their food, isn't it, and release oxygen in the environment. In this way plants prepares the food. The leaves, okay, leaves are the kitchen of the plants. They performs the photosynthesis process for the preparation of the food. So oxygen is given out in the process, photosynthesis process. The food prepared by the leaves ultimately gets stored in the different parts of the plants. The leaves, the food which is prepared by the leaves are ultimately stored by the different parts of the plants, and in this way the whole plants get their starch, that is utilized it. So we have seen that the stem supplies leaf with stem supplies leaf with water. Stem supplies water to the leaf and the leaf uses the water to make the food. So atmospheric carbon dioxide, water, sunlight falls on the chlorophyll which is absorbed by the chlorophyll and prepares the food in the form of a starch. Starch is a form of a carbohydrate which we understand, and oxygen is released. Oxygen is a important gas for the survival of we humans, isn't it? So plants takes atmospheric carbon dioxide and release life gas, that is a oxygen gas. So we must plant a tree and we should take care of the plants. Now this is about the leaves. So basically we had understand the two functions, transpiration and photosynthesis. Now let us understand 7.4 root. Now you can just see in the book Paheli and Bujo both are watering the plants. You can just look over there. Now Paheli or Bujo are watering the plants. What do you think, they are planting water the plant correctly? Now which part of the plant is in the soil? Now let us learn about this part from the following activities. So we can say for here Paheli and Bujo, that Paheli and Bujo are giving water, both are giving water, but one of them is in a wrong way giving water to the plant. Here Paheli is giving water directly in the pot, in the soil, and Bujo is directly giving water to the leaf, which is not proper for the growth of the plant. So you would require 2 pots, some soil, a khurpi for the digging, blade or a pair of scissors and cutting. Now over here look at the picture 7.14 on the book A and B. Now both the roots are both the plants are given, the one plant with roots and one plant, that is a B plant without a roots. Now you will tell that which plants have a proper growth. Okay, after giving water, and you will observe that after some time the plant A will grow, or there is a life we can say, but plant B with no roots have no life, their leaves are dried up. So we can say both the plants are watered regularly, but one without root, isn't it? So this activity studies us that the roots plays an important role, because roots absorbs water and minerals from the soil and supply to the stem, and stem supplies to the leaf. In the presence of sunlight, the plants performs a photosynthesis, isn't it? Now you understand the whole process. Now over here you can also find out the young plants grown in the cotton by doing a small activity. What you have to do? Take a cotton piece, okay, cotton, or then what you have to do is just keep some of the any pulses. Over here it is a gluten gram, but you can write also you can take moong also and sprinkle the water to that arrangement every day. After some time you will observe the sprouts are coming out, some white structure, white tail appear out, isn't it? What is easy to prepare this? So it shows that don't pull it. So it shows that it cannot if you are trying to pull out, it will not comes out easily. Why? Because the roots anchors the plant firmly. रूट्स होती है बेटा जो वो सॉइल में जड़ी हुई होती है. सो होल्डिंग द प्लांट्स फॉर्मली टू द सॉइल एंड दे एंकर द प्लांट टू द सॉइल. द बेसिक फंक्शन ऑफ द रूट, they anchors the plant tightly or we can say firmly to the soil. And second, roots absorbs water and necessary minerals from the soil and supply to the entire plant. So these are the two basic functions of the root. We can also understand about over here taproot and another. There are two different types of roots, we can say taproot and fibrous root. Look at the figure 7.17. You can see a difference that one root with the small lateral roots and another roots where there is a no main root but all are the small roots, lateral roots. So for roots of the kind shown in the figure, the main root is the taproot and the smaller roots are called the lateral roots. And the plants with the roots shown in the figure 7.17b do not have the main root. All the roots seem similar and these are called fibrous roots. So there are two types of roots, taproots and fibrous roots. Now taproots are the such roots which have some main roots and along with surround its small roots, or we can say lateral roots grow around it. And fibrous roots are such roots where there is no main roots, all the roots grow, lateral roots around it. So separate the plants you have collected into two groups. Now over here, be the plants fibrous roots and just a taproot. When you visit a farm or if you are having a fields, you just try to pull it out, the roots of the plants. From that you can understand the taproot and fibrous roots. Now Bujo has a brilliant idea. If he wants to know what kind of roots of the plant, he need to pull it out. He has just to look at its leaves. Okay. Now while performing this, we can say that leaves, the dicotyledonous taproots have the beets, carrots, moong, gram or monocots, that is a fibrous roots. We can say tomato, wheat, rice. Parallel from the leaf structure also you can observe parallel venation, that is a fibrous root, and reticulate venation, that is a taproot. So this is the smart way you can also understand. No need to try out to pull the leaves unnecessary, roots of the plant unnecessary. From this you can understand table that parallel venation have a fibrous root system and reticulate venation have a taproot systems. So we have learnt that roots absorb water and minerals from the soil and the stem then conducts them to these leaves and other parts of the plants, and the leaves prepares the food. This food travels to the stem and stored in the different parts of the plant. We eat some of them as a roots like carrot, radish, sweet potato, turnip and topakia. We also eat many other parts of a plants where food is stored. Now look at the figure over here. Stem has a two-way traffic signal, okay, where the stem supplies two-way traffic, water and minerals supply to them. There are xylem and phloem vessels which you will understand in a higher classes. Then these are the xylem and phloem are the two vascular tissues which supplies water and minerals in the plants. Like we are having a circulatory system and nutritions are circulate to the blood, supply to the blood. In the same way in the plants, xylem and phloem are the two vascular system which fulfill the requirement of the nutrition of the plant. So in the next section we will study about the structure of a plant, in this more about the xylem and phloem. Now let us understand 7.5 flower. Now how we will notice a plant? but obvious from the flower, isn't it? From the particular flower we identify the plant. If you have hibiscus plant, rose plant, chameleon plants, all. Now you are shown 3 branches of a rose over here, A, B and C. Now look at over here. You can easily identify the plant from the flower. Now which color did you use for the flowering? All the flowers are colorful. Have you ever seen the flowers on grass, wheat, maize, mango and guava? Those are brightly colored. So this is the way we can identify the plant with the help of a flower. Now here you can say that we would require activity 10, we would require 1 bud and 2 fresh flower of each and of following, that is datura, china rose, mustard, brinjal, lady's finger, gulmohar and etc. Also a blade, a glass slide and a sheet of a paper and magnifying glass and water. Now observe 7.20, carefully look at the prominent part of the flower, open flowers. We can say the open flowers prominent part are petals. So that parts are known as petals. So different flowers have different petals of different colors. Now where do you think the petals are in a colors blushed? Now this is the most prominent part in a bud. Did you see that this part is made up of small leaf like structure? They are called sepals. In the base level around the buds, small green parts are there. You can say it's a sepal. Now take a flower and observe the petals and sepals. So you can see that the colors of the petals and sepals and how many petals does a flower have. So according to it you have to fill the table. 7.3 observation is given on a flower. We can also say that to see the inner parts of the flower clearly you have to cut it open. If you want to see the inner parts of the flower you need to cut it openly proper. So if the petals are open, for example dhatura are the bell shaped flowers, the petals have to be cut lengthwise and spread out. The inner parts of the flower can be seen closely. Now remove the sepals and petals to see the other parts. So we can say that compare of any other flowers and illustrations and identify the stamens and pistils. Okay, you can identify the parts of a flower, with internal parts of a flower, that is a stamen. And now the stamen consists of 2 parts. Stamen consists of anther and filament. The first part is anther and the long narrow ending tube is known as a filament. Now carefully it shows the different kinds of stamens and present in the different flowers, different stamens. Now how many stamens are there in your flower? Just draw the stamen and label its parts. So where I say stamen consists of anther and filament. Now the innermost part of a flower is called the pistil. You can just look at the figure pistil. Now pistil consists of style, stigma, ovary. Now if you cannot see it completely, remove the remaining stamens, identify the parts of the pistil with the help of figure 7.24 which is in the book. With the help of a blade you can just go through it. You will observe the innermost part of the flower, that is a pistil. So here I would like to tell you that stamen is a male part and pistil is a female part. Pistil consists of stigma, style and ovary. Now let us study the structure of ovary. Now what is inside the ovary? If you give a cut section of the ovary, you will see the small ovules, we can say. Inner structure of an ovary, longitudinal cut and transversal, both the way you can see. Longitudinal cut, direct cut and transversal means slant cut. So this, put a drop of water in each 2 pieces of the ovary, you have the cut. Now you can see after that small beads like structures inside the ovary, they are known as ovules. Now these are the ovules where there is inner part of the plant. So this is about the leaf. So basically flower have the different parts, petals, sepals, which is the around the buds, and it has the innermost part, stamen and pistil. Stamen is the male part. Stamen consists of anther and filament, and pistil is a female part which consists of stigma, style, ovary. And inside the ovary, when you put a cut and put a 1-2 drops of water, you will see a small beads like structure, that is a ovule. Now about this flowers male part and flowers female part you will study in higher classes. This is just a basic introduction about the flower. So the number of pistils, stamens are may also different in the different flowers, and we also understand that the stem, roots, herbs, shrubs, isn't it? Now we will learn about the function of flowers in higher classes when you understand in the function of flower in higher classes, and we will also learn about the fruits in higher classes. So this is about the flowers. Now let's revise the summary of the chapter. Now plants are usually grouped into herbs, shrubs, trees, and based on their height, nature of the stem and branches. The stem bears leaves, flower and fruit. Leaf usually has a petiole and lamina. The pattern of veins on the leaf is called venation. It can be reticulate or parallel. Leaves give out water through the process of transpiration. Green leaves make their food by the process of photosynthesis using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight. Roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. They also anchor the plant firmly into the soil. This is the basic function of the roots. Roots are of mainly two types, taproot and fibrous roots. Plants having leaves with a reticulate venation have a taproot system, and while plants having the leaves with a parallel venation have fibrous root system. The stem conducts water from roots to the leaves and other parts of the flower, and food from the leaves to the other parts of the plant. So the parts of a flower are sepal, petals, stamen and pistil. So this is about this chapter. I hope you understand this chapter very well. Thank you everyone.